All right, Nick, let's talk about the Chicago Bears. And I mean, man, the Bears, from this point 2 years ago to now, this is a completely different team. I'm very excited about the Bears, and not even just about the quarterback position. I think the wide receiver that they got at number 9 overall, Rome Odunze, is very, very exciting, and we have a really great update on him as well. Let's get into the article, and then I want your thoughts on this on the other side. This is from over on USA Today. This is former Washington Huskies star Rome Odunze missed multiple weeks of Chicago Bears minicamp with hamstring tightness, but the time off didn't seem to set him back at all. As the Bears host their mandatory minicamp, head coach Matt Eberflus highlighted Odunze as the biggest standout from the workouts. He said Rome really impressed us in terms of his ability to grab concepts and really execute out there. Eberflus said following Thursday's practice, Odunze has been utilized with the first team offense where by all accounts he's already formed an exciting connection with number 1 overall pick Caleb Williams, but Eberflus has also tried him out as a punt returner in an attempt to give the former All-American the ball in as many ways as possible. Another quote, it says, Rome looks great. He's the guy who stepped in and he's been with the first team right off the bat, Allen told the media. He knows what he's doing, his responsibilities, and that's huge. First coming in, we haven't even got to training camp, and he already knows where to go, where to line up, where to be at. So that is huge. Again, teammate commenting that he's already doing a lot, doing a great job for a rookie, especially who's missed some time early on. I think this is big for Chicago Bears. Nick, I'm curious what your thoughts are on Odunze and his quick start in mandatory minicamp. But before we get to you, Bears fans, in the comment section below, you have a lot of new wide receivers on this team. There's a lot of good talent on this team. But before we talk about them, I want you to tell us, who's your favorite Bears wide receiver of all time? There's a lot of good ones. I know one that I think is very exciting. He was a great player in college too as well. But let us know your favorite Bears wide receivers in the comment section below. But Nick, what are your thoughts on Odunze and his quick start?
I think it's a good sign, obviously, because he did miss a little bit of time there at the beginning of the offseason. So they're kind of worried, hey, will that imperil his ability to pick up the offense, to make big plays early for this Bears football team? If you listen to Eberflus, you listen to Keenan Allen, frankly, if you listen to everybody, everyone's like, nope, he's got it, sharp as a tack, smart. He's understanding the offense. He's making plays already. We've seen some of the highlights, right? So that's obviously a good sign. And it's going to be critical for this entire Bears wide receiver core, every new addition, whether it's Odunze, whether it's Keenan Allen, right? DJ Moore continuing to get better with Caleb Williams, that they get off to a solid start. Because if you look at the Bears' strategy here, I think it's really smart how they've structured their team actually puts them in a position to be really successful this season right out the gate. And here's what I mean by that. If you look at PFF grades by sub area, what I mean by sub area, I mean running, receiving, passing, run blocking, pass blocking, the characteristic that most defines and correlates with success, right? The higher you do in this area means the more wins you get, is passing, which is quarterback. But what's number 2? A lot of people would think it would be pass blocking. No, that's not the case at all. Teams like the Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings and the Denver Broncos were top 5 in pass blocking. They weren't good football teams. How about running, right? You have teams like the Arizona Cardinals and the Chicago Bears, frankly, last year, who were top 10 in this category, but obviously double-digit losses, right? How about run blocking, very much the same. You had teams like the Denver Broncos, again, not a good football team, but ranked very high in run blocking last year, 4th in the NFL. If you look at the characteristic that most corresponds to team success outside of the quarterback, it's receiving, right? If you look at the teams with the top 6 receiving grades, you go 49ers, Super Bowl team, Miami Dolphins, playoff team, Lions, championship, conference championship, Texans, playoff team, Cowboys, playoff team, Packers, playoff team, right? So the characteristic that most defines success outside the quarterback position is the receiver room. The Bears smartly recognize this. They got Keenan Allen. They drafted Odunze. They got DJ Moore last offseason. Now they just need it all to come together and play together and get on a rhythm. That's why it's so important for this young receiver here to get off to a great start despite those early injuries. The fact that those injuries aren't hampering him at all is a great sign, because if the Bears receiving core can come together, based on the analytics, according to PFF, this Bears football team as a whole should be a lot better than people think they will be.
Yeah, and one thing that stands out to me is sometimes, obviously, Keenan Allen is a strong veteran in the room. And sometimes when you have veteran wide receivers, especially guys who've been with a team for a long time, they kind of lose sight of maybe what it's like to get into that system, how difficult it could be. So they might be a little bit biased or say something. But when Keenan Allen, a guy who is also new to this Bears team, also learning the system, learning where to line up, where to go, he knows exactly how tough it is to, get a head start in this system because he's himself doing it once again. He comments on the rookie Odunze coming in, making him faster. I think it means a little more rather than, if you were, I actually, Debo Samuel over at the 49ers, a guy who's been around the 49ers for a while. He knows the system. He probably lost sight of how difficult, or, like a Cooper Cup over in the Rams, Sean McVay's system, very difficult to learn. He probably kind of forgot how difficult to learn it is. I think it means a lot coming from Allen saying he's so impressed because he knows exactly how tough it has been. So here, like you said, I think this team, there's something special brewing on this offensive side of the ball. I think we've seen it growing. I think we've seen the flashes, but I think this iteration of the Bears easily is the best one yet, but I think this is the one that can get the job done. I'm excited, and I think they have a very good shot of making the playoffs this season.